Yo, what's up? Welcome to Vanguard 50 Under 50, a new series where I will be showcasing 50 decks that you can build for under $50. These aren't meta decks, but they can hold their own, are perfect for new players, old Vanguard players looking to get into standard, or anyone just looking for a mechanically new deck on a budget. In this series, we will go over the deck profile, the price of each card, the playsets, the total price of the deck, as well as some optional upgrades you can buy if you want to make the deck more competitive. All prices in this series will be based off the current TCG player market price at the time of recording, not including shipping or taxes. So if you're looking for a fun little deck to build on the side on a budget, you've come to the right place. Yo, what's up? I'm Kinda Proto, and welcome back to another 50 Under 50, where we're building 50 decks for under $50. Today's deck is for all the dog lovers out there. We got Hound Aoi. I know how to read and talk and say words and stuff. Well, anyways, this Vanguard's really fun. Is an in archetype for High Beast. Typically, this deck is definitely not budget because of Saragon, but I put a list together that I think actually operates really well. Without Saragon, you lose a little bit of the draw power and filtering, but the deck still does all the things that it wants to do, multiple attacks, multiple drives, and big punchy numbers. So without further ado, let's start with the Rideline. Starting out, we have Hound Kika, typical grade 0. When this unit's rode upon, if you win second, draw a card. This is going to cost you a whole 1 cent. Ridelines are usually pretty cheap. Next, we have a grade 1 Hound Izumi. When this unit is rode upon by Hound Hakurin, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 High Beast from among them, call it to rearguard, shuffle the deck. And when this unit is boosted by High Beast, this unit gets plus 2k until end of battle if it is on rearguard circle. But we only run it in Rideline, so you won't have it on the rearguard circle. This is also going to cost you 1 whole cent. Very, very pricey so far. Next, we have Hound Hakurin. So when this unit is rode upon by Hound Aoi, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit with Hound in its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into hand, and shuffle the deck. If you did not reveal a card, call this card to rearguard circle and soul charge 1. And then it also has an auto rearguard ability. When this unit is boosted by High Beast, choose a High Beast normal unit from dropping. You may put it on the bottom of the deck. Unless you whiff, though, this thing is not coming out to the rear guard circle. And then finally, we have the Vanguard. So Hound Aoi has 3 different effects. The first one is a continuous that all of your back row High Beasts get plus 5k. The first act ability she has is Soul Blast 2. Search your deck for up to 1 High Beast, call it to rear guard circle, and shuffle the deck. And then the second act effect she has is CB1. Choose one of your grade 1 or less back row center column High Beast. Until end of turn, that unit can attack from the back row and gets at the end of the battle. This unit attacks, stand this unit, and this unit cannot attack until end of turn. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you perform drive checks for the battles that chosen unit attacks. So essentially, after it attacks, it restands, but it can only boost her. So the wording's a little confusing at first. And then this one is going to come in as one of, I believe, the most expensive card in the deck, actually. She's going to come in at $4 a pop. So going into our main deck, of course, starting out, we have 3 Persona Rides because big number is good. And this deck is good at big number, so make big number bigger and win game. So simple. These are going to run you $4 a pop each, putting you at $12 for the 3 Persona Rides. Already know what she does. Next, we have Hound Sation. This is the one that allows your High Beast to get intercept. So, continuous front row, rear guard circle. All High Beasts on your rear guards get intercept and can intercept from the back row. So you have some bonus shield ones, and also we have triggers that are High Beast, so it allows them to intercept from back row. Once returned, when this unit attacks while boosted by High Beast, if you have a Vanguard with Hound in its card name, until end of turn, or until end of that battle, this unit gets plus 5k. And if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, Energy Blast 3 in this unit also gets a critical. So whenever it is boosted by a high beast, it becomes an 18k base power, plus whatever the high beast is, plus if your Persona Road, whatever. Then you can EB3 and give him a crit. So if you're kind of going for game and you check a crit, you put it on one column and then he naturally can give himself a crit. It's really nice. We are running him at 4. He's going to run you 50 cents a copy, putting you at $2 for the playset. Next, going into the grade 2s, we have Hound Razor Mishiro. So when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor and its card name CB1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to one grade 1 or less high beasts from among them, call it to Rearguard Circle, and shuffle the deck. If you did not call a card, countercharge. So CB1 top 7, call a high beast. She's just a board builder. And then when this unit attacks while boosted by a high beast, you may soul charge 1. This is kind of where you get the soul 4 from the deck because your Vanguard does use 2 soul per turn. If you don't see Persona Ride, you can run out kind of fast. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and you have 2 or more back row high beasts, this unit gets plus 10k until end of that battle. So she's also kind of a beater. She will gain the 10k, and as long as she's being boosted by a high beast, I believe the weakest high beast you can technically have is a crit trigger or a front trigger at 10k. That's going to put her at 30k power without Persona Ride. So 40k with Persona Ride, 50k with the order. It's just the numbers just scale in this deck. So a really nice card. We run her at 4 as well because she is a board builder. She's very important. She's going to run you 50 cents a copy as well, putting you at $2 for the playset on this one. The next grade 2 we have is Hound Razor Hinami. So when your high beast attacks from the back row center column, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, this unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your other rear guards and it gets plus 5k till end of turn. So typically what I like to do is there is a high beast that gives itself plus 5k. Vanguard gives it plus 5k, and then I use her to give it plus 5k if my opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. That way, off rip, it's swinging from back row with a drive check at 28k, which is a very nice number, especially with the drive check. So, but yeah, she makes herself a base 15k. Pretty much all the cards in this deck, for the most part, give themselves a little bonus power to help you hit some nice numbers. And then she has a second ability at the end of battle. She can attack while boosted by a high beast. If you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, you can retire this unit, choose one of your rear guards with Hound Razor in its card name, and until end of your opponent's next turn, it gets continuous. This unit cannot be chosen or retired by your opponent's card effects. So you'd want to use this on the grade 3 that allows you to intercept from back row. That way, if they have spot removal, they cannot get rid of him, and you continue to have the intercept for all your extra shield value from the back row. It's actually a really nice card. We run her at 3 copies, and she's going to run you 15 cents a copy, putting you at a whole 45 cents. From there, we go into our grade 1s, starting with my favorite, Meltdown. So when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, you can Soul Charge 1 or Energy Charge 1. It's really nice because you can get to EB7 very, very fast if you want to use that to draw if you're having trouble finding your cards. But more importantly, if you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, this unit gets in the back row Rearguard Circle. Important. If you have Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, this unit gets plus 5k. And if it's in the back row center column and your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 10k instead of plus 5. So this is a very big boy. This is the one where if it's in the back row column, it becomes an 18k. 5k from Vanguard, you have 5k from the grade 2 Hound Razor, and suddenly you have a 28k swinger with a drive check. But this is a very big boy. This is your best aggression piece early game if you can build a full board, which this deck tri-lanes on grade 2 very consistently. Then this can help you push over some nice number thresholds and get some damage in. Absolutely love this card. One of my favorite cards in the deck. We run Meltdown at 4 copies. He's going to run you 10 cents a copy, putting you at 40 cents total for the playset. Next, we have Raygown. So this one says, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, this card gets all the following. Back row center, during the battle that this unit attacked, when your opponent would call cards from hand to guard circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. A nice little guard restrict that is live off rip. So, you know, sometimes you put the guard restrict on there. They're like, yeah, it's one drive check. We'll just, you know, we'll take it. Then you rip a crit and they're like, you know, it's situational. You need to know, you know, how big your opponent's hand is. Are you pushing for game? Stuff like that to decide between bigger number or guard restrict. And then the second ability it has is continuous on Guardian Circle. This unit gets plus 5k shield. That is only when you are on grade 3 though, unfortunately. So it's a really good interceptor from back row. If you use the grade 3 Hound Razor to give all your back rows an interceptor, it is a 10k interceptor. And we run him at 4 copies. He is going to run you 5 cents a copy, putting you at 20 cents total. Next, we have Reverb Gown. So when I built this deck, I didn't realize that it had received support past DZBT08, I believe. But in DZBT10, we actually got a card. So instead of playing a playset of this card, I'm going to put a different one up on screen right now. This is a card we're actually going to play because it is much better, and I like it a lot more, and I did not know it exists when I originally made this deck list. Real Gown says, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card with Hound Razor in its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into hand, shuffle the deck. You reveal the card, choose a card from your hand, put it into soul. So it checks off 5 to find your Hound Razor, plus nets you a soul from hand. And it has continuous rearguard circle, guard circle. If you have a Vanguard with Hound Razor in its card name, this unit gets shield plus 5k. And if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, it also gets power plus 5k. Active on opponent's turn as well. So this thing gets the shield plus 5k without you having to be on grade 3, which is very nice. So it's a free check top 5 for a Hound Razor, a free 10k shield. And then if your opponent's grade 3, it gets plus 5k, which makes it 13. And then your Vanguard gives it another 5, making it an 18k booster. This, you're going to run a playset of this as well. It is going to cost you 25 cents a pop, putting you at a whole $1 for the playset. And it is by far way better than Reverb Gown. Next, for the order of the deck, we're playing a Warrior's Rest. This is a really good card. Plus, it's got dogs on it. It was meant for this deck. So you play this with Energy Blast 2. You choose 2 of your units, and they get continuous Vanguard Rearguard Circle. During the battle, this unit is boosted. This unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. And if you have 5 or more units, draw a card. So typically I'll slam this on my rear guard columns because my Vanguard is already very big and threatening with drive checks. And whenever they attack, while they're boosted, they get plus 10k. Also, 9 times out of 10, when you play this, you're going to get the draw because this deck builds a board very consistently. We're also going to run a playset of these. They're going to run you 14 cents a pop, putting you at 56 cents total for the playset. Next, we're going to run 4 PGs. The average price of a PG was 50 cents. So that's going to put you at $2 total for the playset. Next, for our crits, we're going to run a playset of Cheval Mia. This is a high beast, so it can be put in the back row, get the bonus 5k, get intercept from the back row, giving you a 15k guard from back row while allowing you to build board. So this one is a little bit pricier, but it is worth it just because of the bonus high beast you get from it. These are going to run you $2 a pop, so a playset is going to cost you $8 total. Next, you're just going to run 4 crit of whatever makes your heart happy. On average, they're running about 75 cents a pop. Will put you $3 for the playset. I chose this one because it's got dogs on it, so kind of fits the theme, but it really doesn't matter what the other 4 crits are. We're going to run 4 heals. Again, these average about 75 cents a pop, putting you at $3 for the playset. It does not matter what heals they are. For the budget build, we are running 3 non-effect fronts, but it is made up for it by the fact that this is a high beast. So obviously effect fronts will put this much over budget, but to keep it under budget, we're running the non-effect ones. We do get the bonus of them being a high beast, so they can be intercept from the back row if you have the grade 3 Hound Razor on rearguard circle. So it's, you know, it's a plus and a minus. You lose the extra 5k shield, but you can use it to build a board as a 10k booster. It's also available as a 15k interceptor. You're going to run 3 copies of these. They run about 20 cents a pop. Will put you at 60 cents. And then finally, for the over trigger, we're going to run this, I almost said the KO. We're going to run the Keter Armatanoa. It is additional effect till end of turn. You also perform drive checks to the battles your rear guards attack. So typically I don't find myself entering a deck out game with this deck, so I am fine with giving my rear guards drive checks. It is also a 65-cent over trigger, so it's the best bet for this deck on a budget. So this is going to be the full deck list. The whole thing's going to run you about $48.94, just under the $50 mark. Like I said, a big part of it is the critical triggers, but the value is very nice to have the high beast crit triggers. And then the Vanguard is the other most expensive card, coming in at $4 a pop. So for upgrades, I actually do have a non-budget version of this deck built. So we can go ahead and take a look at some of the upgrades you would add in to bring this deck to the next level. The first is going to be Divine Sister Natalia. It is just the soul fronts. This is to give you the extra soul. Make sure your Vanguard ability is always live. These are going to run you about $8 a pop, which would put you at 24 for the playset. You only run 3. So the next upgrade would be Sergown. This card's very nice because not only does it get you the additional +5, but it also retires itself to the top 2 cards of your deck, so it gives you some card draw as well as some filtering. These are running about 17 a pop right now, so it's going to be about $68 for the playset. It is a Keter staple, though, so if you are a Keter main, it is worth investing into. And also, I think $17 is a fairly good price for it, and the lowest it's been at for a while. The next upgrade I'd go with would be adding in the Fire Regalis. This is just, you know, average board building card experience. It helps you when you're short that 1 unit to build the board, or, you know, it can go into your grade 2, then you CB1, check top X, and you find one, or you can go into Viril Gown, who can find you a Hound Raiser, who can find you more cards. In worst case scenario, it's a card draw. Plus, it doesn't count as order for turns, so you can still play the Dowg order. This card is going to run you about $12, which is not a bad price. I would recommend picking one up if you are very invested into Vanguard, because $12 is not a bad price, and all it takes is one deck that abuses it for this to spike back to $30 or $40. And then finally, the last upgrade I would recommend would be the Blue Over Trigger Idosphara. It's just nice because it's the 100 mil plus a crit, plus you get to add a card from drop back to hand, so probably Sergown or a PG, just depending on the situation. But basically adds a 9th crit trigger to the deck, plus over trigger power, plus recursion. So it's definitely the OT of choice from everything I've seen with this deck. The other option would potentially be red OT, so you can slam it on the grade 3 and use his Energy Blast 3 to gain a crit, and try and kill them that way. But I prefer this one, and this would run you about $17. So that's the full deck list, as well as the upgrade options available to you. This deck is a ton of fun. I did a stream with it, testing out the budget deck a while back. Some of you may have been there. I do also have a video of this deck playing into Blangmire on the channel. I will link that in the comments below if you want to check it out. Thanks again for watching another 50 Under 50, and look forward to some more fun budget decks coming in the near future.